Hello, colleagues, and welcome to week 5 of our MBA607A International Business course. Hard to believe we're getting close to the end. This is this week's Brewers Bullets, the 3 things we should be thinking about from the past for this week and looking ahead toward the end of the course. Let's get to it. First bullet, I am enjoying going through your presentations from this past week. So far, the ones that I've looked at and listened to have had good content and good application. People working hard to grasp not only the research, the breadth of the research in their individual topics, but then looking to apply that. What does that look like, and what does that mean for our company or for any company looking to expand or manage its international business well? So I'm very excited to continue working through those. I do want to be sure that you understand that while you are watching 3 of them, probably, I am watching 15, and I find that I spend about 35 to 40 minutes on each of them. So I will not finish today, or probably even tomorrow. I will keep chipping away at them. What I want to do is I listen to the entire presentation first, and then I go back through and call out specific things in the grading rubric. So to get my feedback, you will want to look at the grading rubric. For your handouts, rather than go through a whole paper format of the rubric, I'm just giving general comments on the handout. It's a fairly simple, straightforward document, and I think the grading is fairly straightforward as well. So I'll continue working through that over the next few days. That's number 1. Bullet number 2, this week. This week, we're focusing on entering foreign markets. So we get to continue building our understanding of the intersection of business strategy and cultural awareness. When you're dealing with international business especially, we can't just look at how to implement strategy or how to understand strategy or marketing or any of the topics that we might be covering in an MBA program or in our corporate lives. We also have to constantly be coming back to cultural awareness. What difference does it make if we're operating in Asia or Africa or Europe, any place, any individual country, localized culture? So we'll look at that this week, which includes watching a video about Thomas Friedman's flatteners. You may be familiar with the book, The World is Flat, where he examines 10 flatteners, things that have made the globe flat, made it much more accessible. It's fascinating in this context to think about the changes we've gone through over the past 20, 30 years, where for centuries and centuries, there were certain commodities or certain businesses that had an international reach. And really, over the past 25, 30 years, what we've seen is that almost every commodity, almost every business, almost every industry, almost every country, and almost every consumer is dealing with things on an international scale. You can ask just about anybody in the world. And with my experience with Seed Livelihood Network over the last 8 years, I've traveled to 17 countries across Europe, Africa, Latin America, and Asia. And in every one of those places, I see people, even in fairly rural areas, who own goods created, produced, manufactured, shipped from other countries. So the widespread reach of the international, the globalized economy is pretty pervasive. And looking at Friedman this week then gives us a chance to see what are the things that have contributed to that. It's not just a bunch of people sitting in a room saying, hey, let's go global. But there are a lot of things that have happened that have facilitated a flat earth and an opportunity for businesses to expand fairly easily. The dialogue forum this week then focuses on Friedman with an emphasis, and I want to make sure this is captured, an emphasis on how do those flatteners affect the U.S.'s competitiveness in the international marketplace. So that's the focus, not just summarizing the flatteners, but looking specifically at, hey, here are 3 flatteners that I paid attention to, and here's how it affects the U.S. In the international marketplace. Your written paper is watching and listening to 3 presentations from your classmates and then critiquing them. And the critique here is about the content. This isn't a place to give people tips necessarily on how to do a presentation better. We can't see the people. All we can do is hear a voice. So let's stay away from comments about people saying ahem or having to cough in the middle or background noise. Let's skip all those things and let's focus on what they say and how they emphasize it, how they help us to apply and understand what it is that they were presenting on. Third brewer bullet for this week. We are closing in on the end, so we're more than halfway through the course. Over the next few weeks, like I talked about, the first half of the course really focuses on trade, not aid, and development, and then into culture. So we get kind of that backdrop of that larger framework. Week 4 was a chance to do a deep dive. Each one of us got to do a deep dive into one subject. Over the next few weeks, we get into more operational and logistics types things, which are unique to international business, or at least have a different flavor in international business. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking about individual departments, human resource management, corporate social responsibility, etc. Things that we might be familiar with on a local level, or even if we're in a larger organization on a regional or national level. What do those look like when you go international? The thing I'll be looking for in our dialogue forums and in our written assignments then is, what is all the stuff we've talked about before? Let's bring that forward into our assignments now. So let's integrate what we've already learned with the new content that we're getting each week in weeks 5, 6, and 7. Integration is the key word for the assignments for the rest of the course. Questions? Email me. I've been very grateful at how many of you have been emailing me, and several of you have been texting me when you have questions. Hey, I'm not sure about this. What do I do with this? Please keep that up. That's great. Email me at my Spring Arbor address or text me at 503-422-1736. I was facilitating a conference this last week, tried to respond as quickly as possible. That conference is done now. I should be able to be more quickly responsive as I continue to work through the grading of all the presentations. Thanks so much. I'm enjoying the time with you, and pray that you continue to get good things out of our discussions and the assignments that you're doing. I'll see you online.